Man, I think we may have even made Quentin Tarantino proud on that one. Welcome back, guys. It's the Hot and Fuzzy again, bringing you a really cool handgun today, one I've been wanting to bring you for a really long time. It's the newest Glock to the market. This is the Glock 43X. Just came out this year in January. Let's take a closer look. Welcome back, guys. It's Hot and Fuzzy again. I'm bringing you a really cool video for you today. This is one I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. The first Glock video we've actually done here on the channel. This is the Glock 43X. This is the newest Glock to come out to market. Came out this January. Main difference between this Glock and all the other ones out on the market is it's kind of made to replace the 43. It kind of is the same size as the 43, but what they did was they redesigned the bottom of the gun. They made it a little bit easier to hold on to, a little bit bigger. They changed the patterning on the grip. And the whole main idea behind this was to be able to get a few more rounds in there and be able to help people with bigger hands hold on to this thing a little bit better. You know, I noticed whenever I myself fired the Glock 43 that it wanted to rise out of my hands a little bit. But this thing, where they redesigned it and made it a little bit bigger, it grips it almost more like a Glock 19. They redesigned the magazines to where they're called their single double stack. It's kind of like an in-between. Instead of holding 7 rounds or a 6 like a regular Glock 43 does, this holds 10 rounds. And what's interesting is the magazines aren't interchangeable between the two. You cannot use the 43 magazines in with the 43X magazines and vice versa. This gun was actually released as kind of a two-part deal from Glock. They released the 43 and the 43X and the 48 at the same time. The difference between the 43X and the 48 is that the 48 has a slightly longer barrel. This shorter barrel on the 43X is only 6.06 inches for the entire length of the slide. But what's interesting is that the slides are interchangeable. So if you have a 43 and you don't like this NPVD coating, a lot of people think that this is actually stainless, but it's not. It's actually called NPVD. It's a coating, a special type of coating that they put on them that's all weather. But if you want that, you can swap them out if you don't want that coating. But they stuck with the regular sights. It has standard polymer sights. Take that for what you want. I've shot several hundred rounds through several different Glocks throughout my life, and I've never had problems with polymer sights. They still have their classic Glock trigger. I mean, one thing I tell people when I talk to them about this firearm is if you don't like Glocks and you're a Glock hater, you're not gonna like it. I mean, generally there's a lot of people out there that it seems like they're made to hate on stuff, but that's okay, because I still love you too. You still view the video just the same as anyone else. But the main difference, I mean, like I said, was to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier, a little easier to hold on to, but still retaining the subcompact size. What I like about the Glocks in this size category is that they're almost like pocket guns. I have a couple guns here to compare. I have my Sky CPX2, and it's almost like, you know, the Glock copy of the world. You know, everybody talks about these, the Sky CPX, but it's almost exactly the same size. It's just, you know, it's a little bit wider, but a little bit shorter, you know. And you compare it to something like this Taurus 357 Magnum here, you can kind of see that's a full-size handgun. You know, that's something bigger than you would, probably want to conceal. This thing is almost pocket gun level. It's pretty small, and that's what I like about it. And you still get the full 10 rounds. But we're gonna move on. That's a little bit too much talking. Let's move on, shoot some interesting targets. I'm gonna see how accurate this thing is. You know, we gotta see if it can still as reliable as any other Glock, see if it functions with hollow points and if the dang thing's accurate. So let's do some testing. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of some functionality tests with the Glock 43X. I've got some Federal Premium, just some brass ammunition, full metal jacket. We're gonna fire 10 rounds out of it at our silhouette here. I'm gonna bear down, see how accurate this thing is. All right, that wasn't too bad. As you can see, I was able to sling all of those in there. Slide lock to the rear. Perfect functionality with full metal jacket brass. Pretty good grip. Wasn't even really trying that hard. Let's move on to some hollow points. All right, so now let's move on to something a little bit messier. Got a whole bunch of expired milk down there into what has accumulated into probably the smelliest chandelier in history. We got some of the Winchester 147 grain 9mm hollow points, personal protection. Pretty cheap hollow points, but let's see how they do. Let's make a mess. Flawless function. Every single one of them. Got milk all over the place. Oh, well, it's 2%. It's mostly water anyway. Let's move on to something else. All right, so we're going to do a little bit more of some function testing with the Glock 43X. I got some aluminum cased Federal ammo. This is full metal jacket stuff. Got 20 rounds of it. We're just going to shoot at our steel down here. Have a little bit of fun. Jug. Very nice. All right, this next magazine, so I gotta reach out a little bit. I've got a couple plates up there at 100 yards. Let's see if I could possibly tag them from here. 100 yards away, 9mm Glock 43X. Throwing them all in there. There we go. So as you can tell, it'll sling them right in there at 100 yards. I was going right in there around that plate. That plate's probably about a 10-inch square, you know? So, and I'm definitely not the best handgun shooter in the world, but that's definitely solid accuracy and solid performance out of the Glock 43X. Haven't had any issues so far today. Probably about 50, 60 rounds through, no issues. So let's wrap this video up, guys. All right, so the Glock 43X, is it a good handgun? I do think so. You know, Glock has always been good handguns. Their motto is perfection. One thing to note about this handgun is that it does not have a manual safety. I did not mention that before, so that's one thing you'll have to be careful about. You know, some people may not want to carry it on a loaded chamber. The gun, you know, Glock, people think about Glocks and, you know, they haven't had a lot of innovations in the past few years, but this is one thing that they came out with that I'm glad that they did, because it really does improve upon the original 43 in that you have a little bit bigger of a grip. You've got new patterning that doesn't dig into your hands as well. I feel like I can shoot this thing all day long and it won't affect my hands. We've done shot about 100 rounds through it, zero problems whatsoever. Hollow points, full metal jackets, even aluminum case 9mm functions with it all fine. And you know, that's no surprise, it is a Glock. Of course, the functionality and, you know, interchangeability between the Glocks is there. The magazines aren't interchangeable, but the slides are, you know, like I said, between the 43 and the 43X. So let's finish this video out the right way. Got some more 2 liters down there. Got a few more of those hollow points in here. Let's take them out. Oh man, that's fun. Oh yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. We have an Instagram page and a Facebook page open up for the YouTube channel, so check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day.